Okay, am I good to go? Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Venus from Magna Labs. So I will actually be presenting on behalf of our CEO and founding engineer, Ms. Wenberry, who, originally supposed to give this presentation, but couldn't be here today due to an emergency. So a little bit about Magna Labs. We are a biotech dedicated to improving the quality and the speed of bioinformatics software development. And I'm excited to introduce to you all today Miqa, our software QA platform for bioinformatics, and demonstrate how you can use Miqa to easily incorporate automated testing into your development workflow. So why do we care about software testing? As we develop or update sequence analysis algorithms, we need rigorous testing for software validation, so ensuring that your results are accurate and error-free, and for data reproducibility, regardless of who conducts the analysis, again, using your pipeline, and also to ensure safe clinical deployment of these tools as we integrate omics solutions into healthcare. And software testing generally falls within two categories: function-based testing, which checks code quality and performance, and result-based testing, which evaluates output accuracy, concordance, and other results-based metrics. So software testing in bioinformatics differs from conventional testing because of the need for analytical consistency and improvement across pipeline versions. And when updating your pipeline from one version to another, it's crucial to ensure not only the successful completion of your analysis, but also consistent or improved results. So initially, you might be able to just use like a basic diff function to check for file content differences, but its limitation will likely to lead you to develop custom scripts for more detailed analysis. And eventually, you might find yourself just maintaining code to test the code that you're building for your bioinformatic applications. And what if your output values tend to change slightly from run to run? And what if you're adding new fields to your outputs, or if the fields are modified, or if you need to set up multiple test types to be run at different intervals? And if you're working with others, how do you coordinate and standardize testing with other team members or across other teams? So we have developed Miqa, a cloud-enabled QA automation platform that adapts to your testing needs. So Miqa takes your output files either from an integrated pipeline or from direct upload, and will evaluate your outputs based on your testing metrics and requirements as frequently as every code change once you set up the automation. So first, you can quickly create software tests from our built-in test library, and it provides a list of suggested tests based on the detected file types. You can also make further customizations through our JSON editor by integrating custom test scripts that you might have already been running. And Miqa supports dynamic data parsing so that once you configure which files or which fields within a file to be included in your testing, Miqa will know where to look even when your output structure changes. And after setting up the initial test, you can simply define a trigger to automate this workflow. And the trigger can be a GitHub pull request or a scheduled interval. And Miqa readily integrates with common development tools, allowing you to expand your test suite without disrupting your existing workflow. And with automated testing, you can just walk away after the initial setup and will be alerted of any failures in real time. And when unexpected changes in your outputs occur, Miqa will pinpoint the issue, plot out the differences, and highlight the trends to help you troubleshoot more efficiently. So whether you have a single or multiple tests, you can track all the run statuses, changes, and performance over time, all in one place, and with our real-time dashboards and interactive reports that you can easily share with your colleagues. So now that we have covered a high-level overview, we can just hop into a demo. And just a disclaimer, this demo will be a slight modification of the usual live demo that we give when we demo it to our customers or collaborators. So welcome to Miqa, and just imagine that we're in the actual platform and everything is interactive as I speak. So I'm going to start by comparing the outputs from a version of a software against the previous version. So what you see on top here are two executions for the same sample, run on BCF tools version 1.4.1 on the left and 1.5 on the right. Can you see? Oh, I guess you can't see my pointer. Yeah, so these have been run through Miqa's cloud execution, but we could have just easily uploaded the results if they have been generated elsewhere. So now let's take a look at the compare section on the bottom. And you can see right away that Miqa has already detected file types from your outputs that could be useful for your testing. So in this case, there are BAM, VCF, and CSV. And these highlighted file types will then correspond to some built-in tests that you will see in a bit. So I will just go ahead and click the build test on over there on the right. And this will take us to the Output Explorer page. And from here on the left, you can see that each of the file type that was shown earlier has a list of recommended tests right off the bat. And for the VCFs are further parsed into individual variants so that you can perform variant level testing. And then to create a new test, all you need to do is to click on an assertion, just like that. So, and then it will automatically pop up on the right. So here I just added a concordance test that evaluates the overlapping variants between the two versions of your pipeline. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the results between these two versions are 92% concordant. And because the default threshold for this test is 90%, so this test passes, so indicated in green. And if the test fails, it will be the color will turn to red, and yellow if it's a warning. And you can get pretty far with your testing just using these built-in tests alone. But you can also customize further by using the JSON editor, which is in one of the tabs over there, for more fine-tuned analysis. So now we are in the JSON editor. Say if I want to increase the threshold for a more stringent test, all you need to do is to go to the threshold parameter and just simply update the value. Here I've set it to 0.95 instead. So when you update the test, now you can see instantly that our concordant test now fails because it falls below our new threshold. So in addition to the test builder, you can also go to the tab to the right, to the left actually, to create tests more interactively and in a more exploratory manner using the Results Explorer. And here you can even generate visualizations for your QA reports while building your tests. And you can also hop onto the Save tab on the very right to import any previous sets of assertions you have used and apply them directly to your current test or make further modifications based on your current testing needs. So I have selected the set on the top, and here we have added tests for variant level concordance, as you can see on the very top there. And then underneath that are tests for absolute difference in each of the fields within your outputs. And the fields that are significantly different between the two pipeline versions will be highlighted. And so here, we have also added accuracy-based tests like overall recall, but you can also include precision or F1 score to your tests. And just below that, we have tests for statistics generated from data processors, like average read length from your output BAM files computed by SAM tools. Or you can also incorporate other post processors of your choice as well. And here in the middle, we also have basic tests for file generation and size, just as a sanity check that all your files that you're expecting have been generated properly. And then on the bottom, for flat files like CSV and TSV, we can do everything from line-by-line file diffs to custom parsing. So now going back to the test builder tab, I want to encapsulate this test that we have just configured into a test chain so that we can run the test more reproducibly in the future. So you can simply just scroll down to the very bottom and look for this quick create test chain button so we can start to run this test over and over again. And this will create this pop-up where you can just name your new test chain. So here I will just put demo. And then it's going to ask you whether we want to apply this test to your current data set or to apply this test to a data set group, which include other related samples with similar outputs. So for instance, here I have on the bottom, I have a set of 4 platinum genome titration samples. So instead of just testing the one output with the one sample data set, I can apply the test that we have just configured to all 4 of these samples so that every time we make a code change and run the test, we can get the results for all of these test data sets. And once you click submit, it will take us to the test chain landing page for a newly created test. So on the right there, you can see the execution history, which will become populated with more tests as you start running automation. So you can see that the 2 output sets that we were just evaluating have been added as separate test runs. And if I click on the top run to see the results for BCF Tools version 1.5, one of the versions that we are looking at, it will take you to this page, which gives you a glance of which test assertions have passed and which have failed. And you can also expand this to view the details of each sample, just like that. And you can also export these results to CSV, PDFs, or other file types that work with your internal document control systems, including formal reports. And not to mention, this is fully interactive. So you can just click anywhere in this block and it will take you to another page where you can go deeper into the details for each test and troubleshoot any unexpected results. So we have interactive tools and visualizations to help. And this can be as simple as a direct file comparison like this, or just data exploration, like looking at the differences in sequence depth between your 2 pipeline versions using our visualization tools. And you can even take it a step further. So on the black bar on top, you can just add like group by var type. So you can group your variant data by variant type. And this will color code your data points so that now you can see you can see variants that are associated with indels are highlighted in blue and SNV in green. So so being able to stratify your your results is really useful as you can quickly see if your difference is associated with a subset of your data set or not. So in addition, for accuracy-based tests, you can find a confusion matrix for each of your data set that the test has been run on. And this allows you to quickly jump into, for example, like true positive or false positives. So you can just click into one of these quadrants and it will take you to a page consisting on only the specific data groups that you're looking at. So for example, here we're only looking at the false positives of this result. So you can export the data as a group, or you can even just click into the individual variants in order to visualize the evidence for these individual variants using the built-in IGV or any other custom visualization tools that you wish to incorporate. And so far, we have been focusing on individual tests. So once you start running more tests, your results actually become a fully queryable database, allowing you to track, test, and monitor any statistics you want over time. So here's one example of that. So this is a longitudinal results view. So from here, we can quickly see how the different versions of a pipeline Here we're showing 7 versions of BCF tools on the very top, run on 4 different data sets, as you can see on the side here. And then you can dig into each individual metrics. For example, here it's showing the concordance, and then you can also click into like sequence quality score and see how these values change. And we also have a whole reporting library. So if you're live in the platform, you can actually click on the left panel and click reporting. So, and then this will take you to a page where it contains like other tools that you can use to explore or trace your data if you wish to dig deeper into your tests. So now let's go back to our test chain page and talk about automation. So if you want these tests to run automatically again against every new release or code change, all we have to do is to create a test trigger from this create link trigger button on the top right. And once a new trigger has been generated with a unique identifier, it can then be called from your CI tools, Python scripts, or REST API. And it will return results either to your email inbox, which I can quickly set up by just adding myself as a watcher on the very top there. And this trigger can also be used in CI to block merges of pull requests that have a failed test. So how you set this up is from the caller configuration, you can just click add a caller. And over here in this integration dropdown, you can select the caller of your choice. Like for example, if your team uses GitHub, then you can choose GitHub Actions. So once this has been added, you can just find a preformed blurb here and just simply copy and paste this blurb into your GitHub Actions YAML. So now every time when you create a new pull request, the test will be kicked off automatically. And you can use the results to determine whether it's safe to merge your new changes or not. So just to recap, in about 10 minutes, we just went from plain outputs of 2 versions of our pipeline to fully automated tests that we can execute on every code change. And this makes it easier for us to detect even subtle issues that could potentially turn into bigger problems if they remain unresolved. So Miqa actually does more than just automated testing and reporting because we want to be able to support end-to-end software QA. So we can perform multi-tool benchmarking so you can know how your tool stacks up against state-of-art tools or competitor. And you can also support results or truth curation, like visual inspection of variant calls and data simulation to generate new test data that can be incorporated into your future testing workflows. So we're always rolling out new features to make testing easier for scientists. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or if you want to learn more. So I will just be standing here in the front, or sitting there in the front. So feel free to find me after the talk. Thank you.
If there's a quick question, we can take a quick question.
Yes, please lean very close to the microphone.
1, 2, 3. Is it good?
That's better. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for the presentation. Cool
Thank you.
tool. I have several really quick questions. I realized that some of the QCs are based on the format of the files, BAM, BCF, or something.
Yeah.
So is there any more detailed testing, for example, from the BAM file to know that it's short-read BAM file or long-read BAM file and the tests are usually different? Is it the case in the tool?
Yes. So usually when we onboard new users, we will configure these file types and customize, set up some basic tests based on the workflow that you guys are working on.
Okay.
So Miqa is data agnostic, so we can work with more than just variant calling pipelines. So all Miqa needs are outputs from your bioinformatics workflow. So
Okay.
anything that can be parsed or readable by text, Miqa can parse out the results.
Yeah, I understand. But my question is because it leads to my next question. What are the okay, so it's a quick question. let me forget about this. The next one is that do you have any academic license or something?
Not right now.
Not right
Yeah.
now. Okay. And one final question. I'm not sure is it at your department, but like the UI was super cool, but out of nowhere we had that JSON builder.
Yeah.
What was that? Why is that? Like we have everything UI, clickable, interactive, and all of a sudden we have this.
Yeah, so the JSON editor is mostly for more advanced users who wish to, do deeper customizations.
But changing the threshold of like concordance is not something advanced.
Yeah, so Miqa is actually designed for like team, like collaborative, like testing.
Okay.
So some like the users of this platform, sometimes you would have like software engineers who are very seasoned with like coding and just making changes from like the editor. Oh, whoops. And you might also have like biologists or managers who just want to go in there and look at the results and like make quick changes. So we just want to like be able to offer like code base, like scripting, and like just like basic UI for anyone who wish to set up a test. They can do it very easily according to like their preferred platform.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank
no problem.